Hi guys, I'm Charlie Book Fanatic. Welcome back to my channel, and today I want to talk about the new releases that came out in September and which ones I'm looking forward to the most. It's been a while since I did a video like this because I haven't had any new releases I was really looking forward to during the summer. I don't know, I think summer is always a very slow season for new book releases, but in September I have quite a few because a few books that have been really hyped up are coming out in September. The first one I want to talk about is probably the most popular release on here, and it is Tower of Dawn, the 6th book in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. The Throne of Glass series follows an assassin called Selena Sardothien, and we're on to book 6. I'm fully caught up with the series. I just need to read book 6, obviously. This came out at the beginning of September, I believe, and I obviously can't tell you much about the synopsis. You should just read the first book, Throne of Glass, in this series, because the story has progressed a lot since then. But I am not a huge fan of this series. Like, honestly, the relationships in this series are so toxic, and I just hate read it, basically. Same thing with the Fallen Kingdom series, which I mentioned a lot as well, but I just like hate reading some series, and people keep talking about these series, so I'm the kind of person that wants to read it just to know what people are talking about. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing with Throne of Glass series, and with each book I keep hoping that it gets as good as the first book, Throne of Glass, was, but I always get disappointed. The second release I'm looking forward to is one I'm really looking forward to, and that is Warcross by Marie Lu. I love Marie Lu's The Young Elites trilogy. And I loved her illustrations in Gemina by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Honestly, she's an author I will probably auto-buy all of her books because The Young Elite is one of my favorite series ever. I love it so much. And Warcross sounds absolutely epic. It's about a hacker girl who works as a bounty hunter online, and she tracks down players who bet on this game called Warcross illegally. But then the creator of Warcross suddenly contacts Emicat, this hacker, and he needs her for a job. So she has to travel all the way over to Japan to do this job for the creator. A book set in Japan, like, count me in, about a hacker, about an online game. This sounds absolutely amazing, and I am so ready to read this. This book came out on September 12th. I also thought it was a good idea to do this video during the end of September because all of these books have already come out, and it's just a good idea because you can already buy all of these books if they sound interesting to you. Then some books I have already read. They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. It's about two teens who get to hear that they both die on the same day. They meet each other through this friend app, and they spend their last day together. From the title of the book, you already know what's going to happen at the end, so it's kind of like you're really regretting getting to the ending of this book because it's just so sad. The idea of two boys dying together and spending a last day together is just a very heartbreaking one. I didn't really like this book. I rated 2 stars. I talked about it in my August wrap-up if you're interested in my thoughts on that. And the second book I've already read is The Gravekeepers by Elizabeth Byrne. This is set in a fantasy world. It's about two girls who have parents who own this cemetery. In this world, everyone above the age of 12 owns their own grave that's fully decorated. They can sit in it to think. It's a very weird concept. Honestly, this book didn't really impress me either. I rated 3 stars and also talks about that one in my August wrap-up if you're interested in more thoughts on that one. But I was really looking forward to both of these releases before I read them, so I thought I should include them in this video. And the last book I want to talk about is another one by an author I really love, and that is Invictus by Ryan Graden. I loved Ryan Graden's Wolf by Wolf duology. I didn't really like her The Walled City, which is a standalone, but she's still an author I really appreciate and want to read basically anything from, just like Marie Lu. And again, Invictus also sounds great. It's a YA science fiction just like Warcross. The main character is the son of a time traveler and also a gladiator. All he's ever wanted is travel through time himself, but then he fails his final time traveling exam. But then the main character takes up a position on a ship as a commander with a crew made up of his friends on a black market operation to steal valuables. But then during a heist on a sinking Titanic, the main character meets a mysterious girl, and Far, the main character, and his team will chase this girl through time. I am not a huge fan of the time traveling trope. Honestly, I really hate it. But I love Ryan Graden's writing, and I have to admit, this premise sounds super interesting, so I will definitely be reading this one. And it literally just came out on September 26th. So these were all the new releases in September I am super excited for. Let me know down below if you've read any of these new releases already and what you think about them. Or do you want to read any of these new releases? I would love to know. Thank you for watching! Goodbye!